up to the minute in local and international maritime trade. This is Nimasa This Week. Hello and welcome. My name is Iretiola Doyle. To curb the health and ecological hazards posed by the indiscriminate discharge of ballast water by ships, the IMO established an international convention for the effective control and management of ships' ballast water in 2004. Now, Nigeria was one of the first 8 countries to adopt the BWM convention, and this they did on October 13th in 2005. Now, Nigeria has since set up a task force chaired by the DG CEO of Nimasa, Mr. Zakide Patrick Akpobulukemi, to draw up a work plan for the implementation of the Ballast Water Management Convention in Nigeria. Now, the task force, which is made up of representatives of all the federal and state ministries as well as research institutions, has been up and running. Last week, the National Task Force held one of its technical sessions at the Protea Hotel in Ikoyi, Lagos, in furtherance of its mandate to adopt a roadmap for the effective control and management of ships' ballast water here in Nigeria. Our correspondent, Amanda Akpan, who was present, brings you all the details.
Ships are designed and built to move through water carrying cargo. Cargoes such as oil, grains, containers, machinery, and people. When ships travel without cargo or discharges cargo in another port, while also en route to its next port of call, ballast, which is any solid or liquid that is brought on board vessel to increase the drafts, change the trim, regulate the stability, or to maintain stress load within acceptable limits, may be taken on board to achieve the required safe operating conditions. Since the introduction of steel-hulled vessels 120 years ago, water has been used as ballast to stabilize vessels at sea. Ballast water practice reduces stress in the hull, provides transverse stability, improves propulsion and maneuverability, and also compensates for weight loss due to fuel and water consumption. While ballast water is essential for safe and efficient modern shipping operations, it may pose serious ecological, economic, and health problems due to the multitude of marine species also considered as aliens carried in ship ballast water. The spread of invasive species is now recognized as one of the greatest threats to the ecological and the economic well-being of the planet, causing enormous danger to biodiversity and the valuable natural riches of the earth we live in. IMO has been at the forefront of the international efforts to stop the transfer of aquatic invasive species through shipping. After 4 years of negotiation between IMO member states, the International Convention for the Control and Management of Ship Ballast Water and Sediments was adopted by consensus at a diplomatic conference at the IMO headquarters in London. The convention will require all ships to implement ballast water management procedures to a given standard. Nigeria is one of the first 8 countries to adopt the convention and also the 14th lead partnering country in the GEF-UNDD IMO Global Ballast Partnership Project for the West and Central Sub-region. In keeping with its mandate to ensure safe and clean maritime domain, Nimasa, through the Marine Environment Management Department of the agency, held a meeting at the Protea Hotel in Lagos recently to deliberate on the strategies towards implementing the Ballast Water Management Convention. The meeting was chaired by the Director of Marine Environment Management at Nimasa, Mr. M.B. Adewale. Mr. Adewale spoke on the various programs Nimasa had organized in preparations for the effective implementation, enforcement, and compliance with the Ballast Water Management Convention in Nigeria.
A national training stroke awareness raising seminar held from the 17th to 18th February 2010. Nigeria also participated actively at international programs, workshops, and conferences on balanced water management, among which are the following: 1. Sensitization mission to 4 West and Central countries held in November and December 2010.
Steps have commenced in Nigeria towards implementing the requirements of the Ballast Water Convention. A national task force was established with the standing committees on different aspects of the Ballast Water Management Convention. With the establishment of the National Task Force, the roadmap document was drafted by Professor Babatunde Alo, one of the IMO consultants in Nigeria. The draft document on the Ballast Water Convention defines the responsibilities of Nigeria after signing the Ballast Water Convention, the objective of Nigeria's Ballast Water Management Action Plan, and the activities which will be carried out towards achieving these objectives.
We have a responsibility to minimize the risk of invasive species as a nation in order to protect the sustainability of our marine resources. And we know that ballast water is a vector for invasive alien species. And that's why once we do something about ballast water, in being a vector, then we are already moving on the right track. And that's the whole purpose of this.
A committee was immediately set up to work in the technical and scientific aspects of the ballast water management in Nigeria, to further develop the strategic plan based on the convention and the regulation that has been proposed. Engineer Akin Soji was then appointed the chairman of that committee. Nimasa, being the focal point for all IMO matters in Nigeria, is naturally the lead agency for ballast water management in the country. Other stakeholders involved in the Ballast Water Management Conventions include Nigerian Port Authority, the Nigerian Navy, African Circle Nigeria Limited, Nigerian Shippers Council, Marine Environment Management Department at Nimasa, and surveyors, amongst others. At the end of the meeting, Mr. Adewale and Professor Alo gave us an in-depth explanation on the importance of the implementation of the Ballast Water Convention in the country.
What we are trying to do is really to prevent, reduce, or if possible, total elimination of these foreign species that comes into our water. Nimasa, at the agency in Nigeria, under the Department of Transport, ratified in 2005, and since then we have been trying to put, all legislations in regarding how do we curb these invasions coming to our water.
Every ship entering Nigerian port, any of the Nigerian ports, the ballast water needs to be monitored. We need to have standards to describe what level of organisms must be in the water, what level of contamination we can allow before we allow that ship to discharge. That's why this activity that we are on today is very, very important. It's important for Nigeria to have in place plans to handle ballast water. All our ports are exposed to risk of imported foreign organisms, imported contaminants from elsewhere, and that's why we need to do that. That's the purpose of the ballast water management strategy.
Pursuant to the regulatory mandate of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency (Nimasa) to establish procedures for the implementation of international maritime conventions, the agency hereby gives notice of the entry into force of the Maritime Labour Convention 2006 on 18th June 2014. Accordingly, stakeholders are to note the following: that the MLC 2006 regulations shall come into force from 18th June 2014 and apply to ships of 500 GT and above engaged in international voyage or between ports in Nigeria. All Nigerian flag ships from 80 GT and above but under 500 GT will be subject to inspections for national certification. All registered ships of 500 GT and above should immediately apply to the agency for the issuance of the Declaration of Maritime Labour Compliance Certificates Part 1. All flag and port states inspections under the MLC 2006 shall be conducted exclusively by Nimasa officials, as classification societies are not authorized to conduct any inspections under the MLC 2006. Nimasa shall immediately commence port state inspections as provided for in the MLC 2006. All manning agent licenses, seafarers' employer licenses, and seafarers' medical certificates will be reissued by the agency where applicable, in accordance with the provisions of the MLC 2006. Please take note that failure to comply with this notice will attract appropriate sanctions from the agency in line with statutory powers. For further enquiries, please contact the Director Maritime Labour Services Department, Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, 4 Bomber Road, Apapa, Lagos. Telephone numbers 0806 061 6034 or 0806 492 5598. Email address mis@nimasa.gov.ng. For further clarification, you can visit our website on www.nimasa.gov.ng.
As part of the ways of increasing safety in Nigerian waters, the Nigerian Navy has sought the support of Nimasa in upgrading its technical institution in a bid to grow the maritime sector. At an interactive session with executives of Nimasa and the Nigerian Navy, the DG of Nimasa, represented by the Acting Director of Maritime Safety and Shipping Development, Engineer Vincent Udoye, welcomed the gesture, describing it as an avenue for the exchange of technology and skills development.
Shipping is perhaps the most international of all the world's great industries. Little wonder the overwhelming interest showed by youths in the seafaring profession. In Nigeria, the Apex Maritime Regulatory Authority, Nimasa, has invested in various capacity-building programs to ensure that youths are encouraged to seek careers at sea and to enable Nigeria meet its manpower needs in the shipping sector of the economy. One of such programs is the agency's investment in the Nigerian Seafarers Development Program (NSDP) and the facilitation of the establishment of the Institute of Maritime Studies in 4 Nigerian universities. In recognition of this fact, the Nigerian Navy has sought the support of Nimasa in the affiliation of the Nigerian Naval Engineering College with the University of Strathclyde in Scotland. Stressing on the need for the collaboration, Commander Suleiman Nadan said the training would empower seafarers to be resilient to chaos and increase their hazard awareness level.
Now, the new trend in engineering is to train the seafarers, the deck officers and the engineers to be resilient to failures. And how to achieve that? By introducing risk and reliability analysis. You are the custodians of safety, and I'm very much aware that you know more than me about poor resource management.
Responding, the DG of Nimasa, represented by the Head, Maritime Safety and Seafarers Standards, Engineer Vincent Udoye, noted that although Nimasa has enjoyed a cordial relationship with the Navy over the years, the areas of collaboration needed to be spelled out in order not to breach IMO's regulations guiding Nimasa's operations. He added that Nimasa's function was not to accredit any academic institution, but to ensure that the courses offered were maritime inclined.
Now, when it comes to the Nigerian Naval Engineering College, we are aware of this school. We have sent our surveyors to go to the school to go and inspect. But it is very important for us to understand that the linkage between the purely military school and the merchant school is very clear. And so, if we have to have areas of collaboration, it has to be properly spelled out because we are guided by IMO resolutions, IMO conventions, how we incorporate people from that school into the merchant shipping workforce.
During his presentation, Professor Usman Tura of the University of Strathclyde said the affiliation would lead to an upgrade in the education training standard of the Nigerian Navy Engineering College to an international standard in a sustainable level.
So what we try to do with the invitation of the Nigerian Navy and in association with Nimasa and the Petroleum Development Fund, we try to look at the potential how to upgrade education and training standards to international standards and utilize its facilities to serve not just Navy but the wider maritime community to address the technological and the skill resource challenges that Nigeria or even the wider neighboring the countries will require in a sustainable level.
Stakeholders at the event bear their minds on the essence of the collaboration and the benefits to the country.
We thought it right to liaise with the appropriate authority, that is Nimasa, because as far as the maritime industry is concerned, they are the administrators. So we thought it wise to consult them, to liaise with them, to dialogue with them, and come out with a workable solution to realize the vision so that we can move the maritime industry forward.
The project is based on the resilience environment. This is a new topic for maritime, but the airlines or the nuclear industries are utilizing it. The whole idea is that whatever you do, you end up with an incident one way or another. The whole idea is that any errors that occurs or deviations from the standard, the expected procedures and activities, there might be deviations for various reasons. It's a human error, individual error, organizational factors, etc. The whole idea of resilience is that you build enough barriers to make sure that you recover from error before it becomes an accident.
Engineer Vincent Udoye expressed his opinion to Nimasa this week.
The maritime courses that is being offered in the Nigerian Navy Engineering College, Nimasa is going to look at them. We are going to look, if it meets our requirement, we will accredit the school to offer what we call mandatory courses, because this is even essential for our seafarers as well. Okay? Now, there is no doubt that even the DG of Nimasa has acknowledged that there is a skills gap in the maritime industry. And that is why we are establishing maritime institutes in Nigerian universities. There is always a room for more. Okay? So we are praying that this affiliation between the Nigerian Navy Engineering College and the University of Strathclyde, that it will be properly consummated so that the benefits that will accrue from this synergy will rub off on Nigerians.
In the tradition of Nimasa, Engineer Vincent Udoye presented gift items to the stakeholders.
The Women's International Shipping and Trading Association, Western Nigeria, is set to have a 20th anniversary on Saturday, 5th July 2014. Programs of events shows that on Thursday, 3rd July 2014, the association will pay a visit to a vocational center in Apapa to empower and mentor the trainees. On Friday, 4th of July 2014, the Muslim sisters will hold a special Jumat service also in Apapa, Lagos. This will be followed by a grand dinner dance on Saturday, 5th July 2014 at the Museum Center, Onikon, Lagos. The anniversary celebrations will be rounded up with a Thanksgiving service on Sunday, 6th July 2014 at the St. Andrew Anglican Church, Marine Road, Apapa, Lagos. Announcer Mrs. Jean Chazo Anishere, the President, Western Nigeria.
The Women's International Shipping and Trading Association, WISTA Nigeria, has come a long way since 1994, when it was established by a group of young and dynamic female maritime lawyers to articulate the voice of women in the business of shipping and international trade. Now, with its numerous achievements over the years, WISTA Nigeria indeed has every cause to dance and celebrate as they mark their 20th anniversary. The president of WISTA Nigeria, Mrs. Jean Chiazo Anishere, as well as the secretary of the organization, Mrs. Ann Akpan, highlight some of the organization's accomplishments.
The Women's International Shipping and Trading Association, WISTA Nigeria, has been in the vanguard for the cause of women engaged in the business of shipping and international trade in Nigeria for the past 20 years. The association, which was founded on sound principles and noble objectives by a group of young lawyers in 1994, has become a force to be reckoned with in maritime circles in Nigeria. Although the association was set up to strengthen the voice of the agenda within the maritime sector, the association from time to time goes beyond the ambit of its operations to embark on corporate social responsibility initiatives to empower womanhood, most especially those living in rural communities. Mrs. Jean Chiazo Anishere, the president of WISTA Nigeria, here recounts some of the accomplishments of the organization.
Year 2000, WISTA saw a new chapter. We got closer to the government, to the corridors of power. At that time, Mufanusara was the president of WISTA Nigeria. I was the vice president. We became involved with Vision 2010, so we're really part of the government curriculum. And then we started having corporate social responsibility. WISTA reached out to the women in the fishing communities. We bought fishing boats and nets for them. We started up with the women in Oran, in Cross River State.
According to Mrs. Anishere, WISTA has a lot of reasons to be happy with the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, because Nimasa is one organization that is gender sensitive, as the management cadre of the agency has an intimidating representation of qualified, efficient and thorough female professionals handling sensitive departments and units in the organization.
We are grateful, immensely grateful to Nimasa. We cannot thank Nimasa enough. And of course, more of our members are directors, assistant directors of Nimasa. We're happy with what Nimasa is doing to the women folk. Women are holding managerial positions in Nimasa, which is what we want.
With its numerous achievements over the years, WISTA Nigeria indeed has every cause to celebrate and dance as they mark their 20th anniversary. While extolling the virtue of the association, Mrs. Ann Akpan, the secretary of WISTA Nigeria, reeled off the various activities put in place by the association to celebrate its anniversary.
We are going to a vocational center here in Apapa to empower some young women there, because part of our aims and objective is to mentor, to empower, and to guide. Our Muslim sisters will be going to the mosque to thank God for keeping us all these years through. That is on Friday, and then on Saturday is the main thing where we're going to have the dinner, and we're expecting very, very important personalities to be there on that day.
These proud achievements by WISTA Nigeria over the years would have been impossible without the commitment and the support of well-meaning organizations such as the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa. For these and many other factors, the association is grateful to the Director General CEO of Nimasa, Mr. Ziakede Patrick Akobolekaimi, for his unflinching support to WISTA Nigeria.
I'll say Nimasa is one of our favorite sponsors over the years. We've always come to Nimasa to seek financial assistance whenever we had to go abroad for our huge conference, the annual general conference. Nimasa has never failed us. Nimasa has always opened its doors to us, whenever we sought their views on issues affecting the industry. No wonder, no better reason why we couldn't help but make the Director General of Nimasa one of the members of our governing council.
Maritime University is a strategic response to the perennial challenge of dearth of indigenous manpower in the sector. The university is expected to produce composite higher-level manpower for Nigeria's maritime shipping sector on a sustainable basis. It is a tertiary institution for the training of seafarers, master mariners, marine engineers, naval architects, nautical scientists, and other specialized maritime shipping trade skills. The Nigerian Maritime University is envisaged to become a center for excellence in innovative research for the maritime sector in the West and Central Africa sub-region, when fully developed. This university is going to be a radical departure from the conventional universities that we have in Nigeria, because we are going to be closely monitored and supervised by the International Maritime Organization, the IMO.
And so we come to the end of this week's edition of our show. As always, we hope we kept you educated and informed. Now, please don't forget, Nimasa this week is interactive. We want to respond to your comments, your questions, and even your criticisms. All you need to do is to send us an email to the address currently showing on your screen. Now, I'm going to be here, same time, same station next week. Until then, we're wishing you smooth sailing and bon voyage.